morning, good evening, good afternoon, or whatever time you happen to be watching this video. Derrick Washington, Derrick Speaks. Just driving down the street here, thinking to myself, man, you was on child support for 17 years. How do you feel about it? Scam? I feel it's a scam. Child support is so illegal. I don't care what they say. According to the United States Constitution, you are innocent until proven guilty. Why is it if you kill somebody, you gotta go to court and they gotta prove that you killed the person, even though you got arrested with blood on your hands and a dead body in the room, right? If a woman decides to put you on child support, guilty. Yeah, you go to child support court, not to see if you innocent or guilty. You go to child support court to see how much you're about to pay. Bamboozlement, I tell you. Now, I was on child support for 17 years, which I mentioned earlier, but it was so messed up in regards to my situation. It is because for the last couple of years that I was on child support, my sons actually stayed with me. Actually stayed in the house with me. So, and by definition, child support is like support for the child, right? But the problem is, in the United States of America, now I can't speak on Russia or Ukraine or Italy or none of that. I can't speak on them other places, but I know here in the United States of America, if a man is on child support, they not even checking to see if the money or the support, I use that term loosely, if the support is actually used to benefit the child. Now, I'm not saying the mother shouldn't be able to pay her light bill or water bill. Of course, the child stays in the house. Take that money and pay the bills that's needed. However, you shouldn't be turning up. You shouldn't be at the club. You know what I'm saying? You know, in my case, it was used to qualify to purchase real estate. It was used to, you know, and I ain't salty, but what I'm saying is, because that, you know, I'm free. What I'm saying is, the sad part about it, the sucky part about it on my behalf was I couldn't even buy my own house, because in my profit loss statement, it was shown as a negative. In her profit loss statement, it was shown as a positive. So for me, it was in my balance sheet losing, and for her, it was gaining, right? So that was added income. So, you know, it is what it is, but at the same time, the issue now, let me pause. Some men should be on child support. I'm talking about some of you sab suckers is so sorry that you will lay down with a woman, female, get her pregnant, and then tell her, that ain't my baby. You can't prove that's my baby. I ain't do it. And be like, better go get whoever you slept with, take care of. I got relatives who are some sorry sab suckers, some scum of the earth type men who done got all kind of women pregnant and have never taken care of their responsibilities. I think I got some real sharp words for men who lay down with women and just purposely say stuff like, I'm never that, you got me played, I'm not taking care of that, baby. That's that you the one, you decide to lay down unprotected too. So that's on you. You should have got rid of it. You know, I ain't saying violence should happen, but what I am saying is that's real garbage. That's real trash, right? So anywho, child support is illegal. I don't care. I think at birth, all people who have babies, by whoever they have babies by, you should have your DNA test done right there on the spot. And then after paternity is established, right there on the spot, married and boyfriend, girlfriend, relation, whatever, everybody should still have paternity right there. And right there, it should be established. The finances should be worked out right there. Straight up right there. And then for people who actually get placed on child support, it should be like, okay, cool. Like, he's going to pay this, but he's also going to have rights to his child. Because a lot of men get on child support and the mother be like, nah, you can't see your child. And the man will be screaming, crying like, hey man, I want to see my kid. And then the woman be like, no. And then you be like, you go to the courthouse like, yo, they won't let me see my kid. And they like, well, you got to go file a claim and petition the court and go back to court again. So now you got to go and find some money that you don't have to go and file another court claim for somebody who is probably unfit to be a mother. It's the craziest thing ever. Because I went through some crazy stuff over the 17 years that I was on child support, right? What I learned in the process was you got to have more than thick skin. You got to have a strong mindset and a strong will to succeed, because the system is designed to destroy you. To me, I believe that the system is like modern day slavery. It's designed to keep us as black men. Because here, okay, before y'all say,
oh man, you another racist black dude.
Okay, well, let me double down on what I just said. Watch this. Ask anyone that's on child support, any black man that's on child support, has he ever, because when you go to child support court, they usually put you guys in a room with a whole bunch of other black men that's going to child support court, right? And here's the crazy thing about it. You stuffed in this room with all these other black men. The problem is you never see any white men that's in there for child support court. And I ain't talking about the thug white dude, you know, with the gold teeth or the tattoos on his face or weird stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the suit and tie, normal, got a corporate job. You never go to court with those type of white men ever. And I'm telling you, because I've been to child support court so many times. Now, here's something that's crazy that happened. One time they gave me child support court because my ex was trying to increase their stuff like every 6 months. It was at least once a year was trying to increase their stuff. So what happened was I'd always be getting these annual and semi-annual increase review type situation. I used to be so sick of it. And one time they sent me a letter that I got to be at courthouse 3 or 1 or whatever the case may be, and I lost the paper. I just remembered that I had court at 9:30. I couldn't remember which courtroom. So I go to, I see these guys standing around. They was like, yeah. I'm like, y'all here for court? They're like, yeah. So I didn't ask what type of court. I just said, y'all here for court. A couple white guys. So they sitting outside, had, a little suit and stuff. So I sit and wait too. Court door opens, we was able to go and sit down. Handful of white guys, right? We sitting there. I'm sitting there maybe 30 minutes. And then I realized, I think I'm in the wrong room. So I kind of get up and then I run down the hall to the other courtroom that I hear people and I see it's kind of stuffed and there's a lot of people. And all of a sudden I recognize that they starting to call my name. And I'm like, huh. And I look around and all of these guys are black, except for the couple white dudes who was from the prison house and the other white dudes who had the gold teeth and the tattoos in their face and sagging their pants type situation. And I was like, wow, that's crazy that the white guys are down the hall and the black guys are stuffed in one room. I wonder why did they separate everybody? I know why, but why do you think they separate everybody? So anywho, long story short, I go through that process. I get tattooed again. Is what it is. And then I'm like, hey, my sons stay with me now. They with me. They're like, well, you're gonna have to, file another petition and all this extra stuff to, the court, they're gonna have to do another trial or a court date. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Like, I remember a couple of those times, she didn't even show up to court. She didn't even show up. No questions asked, no problem. But if I hadn't showed up, I would have had a warrant for my arrest. And I said, Your Honor, she not even here. Can we just throw this out? No, we cannot. No, we will not. Wow. Don't worry about her. Long as you here. Wow. Bet. So, okay. So, long story short, child support is a scam. It's not designed to help the children out. I know that's the picture that's painted. It's not. Because when I found out that the courthouse, the court system in your state is paid a percentage of the money, think about that for a minute. If I know that I'm paid a percentage from every person that is on child support, paying, I'm getting a percent, 5%, 3%, 8% of whatever you're paying. I'm not gonna have an incentive at all to make sure that you get off the system or to make sure that the child is really taken care of. They don't care if the child is really taken. They don't care if the mother's unfit. They don't care. They got other processes and stuff for that. They got CPS. They can care less. But as long as their bonus checks still come and remain a certain size, that's the whole key. When I found that out, I said, wow, now I see what it's really about. And that's why I said slavery. Because once you get in the system, I remember the first day I got put on child support. I went to court thinking that, there was about to be a real court, like we finna find out and see. No. I couldn't afford a real attorney, so I got a court-appointed attorney, and I'm talking to him in the discovery area, and he says to me, I know you don't take care of your child, because if you did, she wouldn't have told us to put you on child support. I said, anybody can lie on you, man. Anybody can say anything about you. That don't mean it's true. So, me being the person that I am, I'm kind of quick on my feet with my words. I asked him, I said, hey, are you married? He said, yeah. I said, you got children? He said, of course. I said, what if your wife told everybody that you didn't take care of your kids? Well, she lied, because I take care of mine. I said, it's your word against hers, right? I said, just like it's my word against hers. So why are we not fighting to see if she's telling the truth, or why are we just fighting to see how much I'm going to pay? So, one way or another, we're going to find a way to destroy this devil called child support. I'm Derrick Washington. Derrick Speaks. On everything. I'm hollering at you.